My Space Planner macro allows you to create and lay out room spaces with highly configurable label and reporting options. The layout for both labels and reports is defined by using tags which are replaced with the appropriate data. Labels can have up to 5 lines and reports can have up to 10 columns. You can also specify a text style for each individual line of both the report and the room labels. For this demo, I'm going to create some simple rectangular spaces for a schoolhouse project. As I create the first space, I'm prompted to enter both a room number and a room name. I can then position the label anywhere I like manually, but I right-click to automatically place it at the center of the created space. Before I create my next room, I'm going to enable the Auto Place Label and Auto Number options. For the classroom, I pressed the space bar after selecting the first point so that I could key the room dimensions from the keyboard. This time I'm going to select the F8 key size option, and that not only allows me to key the sizes, but to specify which direction from the first point the room is created. The office is created without the need for me to enter a number or place the label manually. You might notice that the room dimensions are being reported in decimal feet. I can go to the unit settings and I'm going to change that to use the current DataCAD setting. That will affect labels that are created from now on, but I can also update the existing labels from the main menu. I'm now going to create 2 toilet spaces. Because Auto Place Label is enabled and the label didn't fit horizontally, it's automatically rotated to vertical. Having said that, I realise that I've created the space the wrong way around, so I'm going to go to the Edit Spaces menu and to use the Rotate 90 option. Instead of creating the second toilet space from scratch, I'm going to use the Copy option in this menu to copy the space. When I copy a space that has a number, it will automatically prompt me if I want to enter a new number. And if auto number is enabled and the new number would have been the next auto number, then it will also prompt me regarding incrementing the next auto number. I now want to move my spaces into the correct relative positions, so I use the Move option on this menu. I click on my space to grab it, and so that I can use the snap grid to position it accurately, I press F2 to set the snap grid size to match the wall thickness of the project, and I'm going to press F7 to change the handle that I've grabbed the space by to the top left corner, and I'm using F1 to snap to the corner of the classroom to set the snap grid origin, and click the office accurately into place. I'm using the top right handle option to accurately snap the toilets into place. I'm going to use my snap grid to drag out a rectangle to define the entry space. And I'm going to use the Edit Spaces Move Side or Corner option to stretch the office so that it lines up with the other rooms. With this option I can click on a corner to move a corner and stretch the adjacent sides, or if I click on a side away from the corner I can just drag the whole side as I'm doing with the office. As you can see, the label has been repositioned slightly to the new centre and the dimensions updated to reflect the new size. Now that I've created the spaces, I'll go to the Reports menu. From here I can create either a Totals Summary or a Detail Report, and I'm going to create a Detail Report. I select the spaces to report on as either all spaces on the active layer, all spaces on layers, or all spaces including those on layers that are currently off. I can also use the normal DataCAD selection criteria to pick and choose which spaces I wish to report on. For this example, I'm just using all spaces on the active layer. And once I click that, the selected spaces are highlighted, and once I'm happy that the correct spaces are selected, I press create to create the report. Before I place the report, I can click to clipboard and that will copy the report to the clipboard. I can then position the report on the drawing and or paste the clipboard into another application. It's worth noting, whilst the report is on the screen, that if I include length or width in the totals line, then what is reported is the length or width of the extents of the group of spaces being reported. And that is quite a different thing to the sum of their individual lengths or widths. I'm now going to lengthen the classroom and add a storeroom in the back corner. I'm going to use the change size function on the edit menu to lengthen it, and when I select the classroom I then have the option of anchoring any of the four corners. As I want to stretch it up, I'm going to anchor by one of the bottom corners. I can then key in the new size, and as you can see, size has changed. The label has moved slightly to the new center and the information in the label has been updated. Before I create the storeroom space, I'm going to go to the settings menu and enable categories. With this enabled, I'll be prompted to enter a category for each new space I create, and I'll be able to subtotal my report by categories. I can now create my storeroom in the corner of the classroom. And I'm going to assign a category of stores. Now obviously this new space overlaps the classroom, so I need to cut the classroom around it. And to do that, I'm going to go to the edit menu and use the fold corner option. With this option I can then select the corner of the classroom, but because this point could equally apply to the storeroom, it's come up and prompted me whether I want to select the classroom. If I pressed cancel, it would then prompt did I want to use the storeroom, but I'm going to press OK. I can now select the new position for that corner, and the classroom is now cut around the storeroom. Before I create a new report, I'm going to add a toilets category to the two toilet spaces. And now I can generate a new report, and I'm going to enable the by categories option. And as you can see, the unclassified spaces are listed at the top, followed by subtotals for that, and then headings and subtotals for our two categories, stores and toilets. That concludes this video, but I've also created a second video which shows more of the functionality in the Space Planner macro. Thank you for watching.